Hello, everybody. I'm Lori St. Clair, Master Evolutionary Astrologer. Today is February 16th, 2026. Tomorrow, February 17th at 4:01 a.m. Pacific Time, we have a solar eclipse, new moon. It's at 28 degrees of Aquarius, and wow, also Chinese New Year, Fire Horse. Most of you have already been looking at that, talking about it, a lot of buzz around that. It's a big, big deal. And we begin with an eclipse. I'm not a Chinese astrologer. I'm a Western astrologer, evolutionary astrologer, as I've just said. But everything, it really does overlap always. And in this new moon chart, definitely there is a lot of energy. There is a lot of get up and go. And the sun and the moon are going to be square Uranus and Taurus. Today, the sun is squaring late or early morning tomorrow. The moon will be squaring Uranus. So they're very closely squaring Uranus in this chart. And I look at that as really leaving behind the baggage. We've had so many revelations. We've had so many things just come out of the blue, personally, globally, and it's really about leaving the past behind, letting the truth be seen, being truthful yourself, sorting out lies from falsehoods, and looking at really the weight that lies carry and the stagnation, and how it's so hard to move forward when we're not being honest with ourselves, we're not being honest with others. And to quote Martin Luther King Jr., the truth shall set you free. That is absolutely this new moon eclipse chart. Now, eclipses are powerful. We feel the energy before, we feel the energy afterwards. It's about kind of a 3-month period. And so these particular degrees will be active. So when something hits it, something passes over those degrees, like on Friday, the 27th, Mars will move into 28 degrees of Aquarius. Well, 28, 27, 27, 28. It will be squaring Uranus, and we will see more of what's been going on right now, but especially Mars and Uranus, that can be a volatile time. So just be prepared for that so that you can be patient. But as well, Mars and Uranus are also breakthroughs. And so we want to have breakthroughs, not breakdowns, because I know breakdowns have been, it's been like, oh, are you sure? Because I do want to break down. But we want to be able to have the new. And so often when we just cling and we cling and we cling to the old, eventually the universe is like, that's it. I'm taking it from you. You've been clinging too long. And you have to bring things into the present moment. I was just talking to someone about the difficulty a lot of times people have, like in friendships or relationships, in being able to let go. And I thought, there's a thing about really when we can't let go, we're usually living in the past and revisiting things, and we're not fully in the present moment. Because when we look at things in the present moment, we see them as they are. We don't futurize, we don't look, at what has gone before. And to be in the present is really only where we can see the truth. So the truth shall set you free. And as well, I also thought of seek and ye shall find. And there's been a lot that we've been finding out lately. Aquarius, like I said, it is the sign of revelation, revolution, rebellion, but it's about progress and breakthroughs and humanity. And it can be the mob mentality, so please watch out for that, and not sinking down to the lowest common denominator, but trying to rise and look at what is best for yourself, but also what is best for others, and to see if you can use that whenever you're making decisions. Now back to seek and ye shall find, and then you will be disturbed. And how often does that happen is when you do get the truth. A lot of times it's like, wow, and especially now, that's why I'm using this. And then you will be amazed, because there's a freedom with coming that comes with knowing the truth, and with really just fully allowing. There's a lot of resistance a lot of times when we don't want to look at the truth. And usually when we don't want to look at the truth, we don't want to face change. And let me tell you, that would be a big mistake at this time. With all these transits, with all this astrological weather, the energy is all about leaving behind. It's the new, and it can feel a bit intimidating because new is unknown. And so there's a lot of asking for personal courage, personal accountability. This is Saturn in Aries with that Neptune in Aries, and it's about sorting out the truth and the lies, but especially, for each of us personally, where have I been kidding myself? Because when we are kidding ourselves, when we're lying to ourselves, we're really limiting our lives. And so again, where can you find the courage to go after what your heart desires? Where can you find the courage? Well, I know where you can find it. You can find it inside, because that's the only place. Courage, core, heart. And so this is about the time that we all step up. And obviously, it's a suggestion. You don't have to. But life goes so much easier when we go with the energy of the cosmos. It doesn't, it's giving us opportunities. Like I said, there are no have-tos, but when we go with the flow, it makes life much easier. We go against the flow, we get a much better workout, right? All those emotional muscles that we're building lately. So Mercury will go retrograde next Wednesday on the 25th. So I'm sure you've probably been feeling that. There can be miscommunications, things not quite working out right. So be patient. Just know Mercury retrograde period is always a time to revisit things. This could be where you're like, oh, this again, thought I was done. Ha ha ha. Yes, we are polishing up that sense of humor. If you don't, gotta have a sense of humor. Planet Earth. I mean, I know. I'm born on April Fool's Day. I got the memo right away. You gotta be laughing here. And it definitely apropos for my life. So I just said to somebody yesterday, laughter is the grease of the wheel of life. When we're laughing, when we can find something humorous, it just makes things move. It lifts ourselves, it helps the body, it helps everyone around us, and there's this need for objectivity. Have to say this with the Aquarius energy. The sign of Aquarius can be very detached, and so what I would do is invite you to make sure that you're not being unemotional. And I can see that can be a tall order with so much chaos, so much crisis, that you just feel like, no, I have to check out. But it's important to stay checked in and have objectivity, not apathy, but to just go, okay, I can see this, and I know that humanity always prevails. No matter what is going on, there is always something good happening, always people praying, always someone doing something beautiful and good. And I'm going to ask you to be that person.